That is one big pilot.
For a modern gaming audience.
Why are you running?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We're communists.
Woke.
Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
I'm cured! Praise God!
He vatored! He vatored!
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
For a modern gaming audience.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
Welcome to Nerd Wars. Sorry about that. Welcome to Nerd Wars.
Please clap.
Scooby!
Let's clap.
Scooby! Scooby! I'm clapping for Scooby, not for the show. Now I can clapping for the show. Yeah.
Double mandatory today.
Uh,
Scoob, absolute pleasure to have you back. Yes, the 3-time waifu champion is here. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. I'm so sorry. I didn't know if you would be
I'm
here.
sorry. You're right.
My
The Badgerine. I'm sorry. We love you, Scooby.
Roger.
And I did my hair. Just for Scooby today.
Just for you. We were oh so worried about you.
Oh, damn.
And in celebration,
Starting off early, apparently.
Yeah.
he didn't even wait for it to get fully engorged. He just rammed it on in there. 50 Nerd Wars memberships. Celebration for Scooby, I imagine.
If anyone is looking for some people to suffer through Rings of Power Season 2 with, the GCA Discord. You've probably heard so much about it. Down at the very bottom, second to last channel, they got the watch party. They will be doing a watch party tonight. You don't have Amazon Prime? Well, hey, go suffer and watch it with some friends, and then we'll have a little cry afterwards. Deal? ABF, you freaking mad lad. PC building stream coming soon.
I do love that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is still confused about ABF and Prime and Alec Baldwin. Like, doesn't get that he has like 5 alternate accounts depending on what YouTube times him out on.
What
you,
universe he's in at the moment.
Also,
Absolute
thank
legend.
you to Mo Zamboni for being the gayest man I know and still manly. I don't know how he does it. Very impressive.
ABF, you heard it was good? I don't know. You might be just a right-wing bigot, like USA Today, Lord of the Rings series, The Rings of Power is beautiful, but empty in season 2. Oh no, guys. Mainstream media doesn't like season 2. We are in for a ride.
Do you think they're allowed now to like dissent? Because we've sort of been seeing it more and more.
Yeah, Gladriel's no longer on the Amazon vans this time, which means the ad money's not, and the revenue, the marketing money's not going out. So, well, if you're not paid to shill, you might as well tell the truth. So maybe you get a little bit of credibility back.
Oh, and I'm sorry. What are we doing?
That's my favorite.
It is my favorite. But also, don't forget that certain someone gave you a super chat also.
I don't care about oxygen. I need boobies, nothing more.
You're right.
We started it out.
D-Day Mazda did give me a super chat. Do you know what it was? Did you see what it was?
Was it a rainbow?
It was a big old gay rainbow. Shout out to D-Day Mazda, if that's your real name. And of course, Tomac out here, per the request of the ABF. How about more games? There were more games indeed. One very anime, I don't remember the name, Asanagi, Akasa Mami, who knows?
Whoa, be careful. Those are very different things depending on the language.
And Yakuza. So I can finally dabble into some Yakuza and, go full weeb.
Oh, yes. The news.
ABF's just trying to trick everyone because the more people gets in, the more negative energy he can feed off, and he's going to look 5 years younger by tomorrow. I'm calling it right now.
He Palpatine.
Dark magic.
He Palpatined.
He's getting together with all the other bald M&M witches, and I'm telling you, there's going to be a power of many tonight.
Agatha.
Speaking of, there's three episodes dropped, right? Was it 2 or 3 episodes that dropped?
I think it's. Is it? I don't know.
Think it's 3.
I thought it was 2.
I'm hoping it's 2.
Is it just the 2? Okay, but Terminator Zero binge model, right?
Oh, yes.
I saw someone
It is?
talking about the orcs have families and they're loving fathers and they leave for war now, even though they're supposed to be grown in rocks or something. I don't know. Seems
Yeah, they're humanizing the orcs. Awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Terminator? Yes.
Yes, we're getting to it, but sadly, first we have to talk about Lord of the Rings, definitely in quote Lord of the Rings series. The Rings of Power is beautiful but empty in season 2 from USA Today. Kelly Lawler, is that a cat in her picture? I think that's a cat right there. USA Today. And even she doesn't like it. There's a hole in my heart where love for Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power should be. Yeah, that like money-sized hole inside of your heart. Season 1 of the outrageously expensive Amazon Prime series had a lot going for it. It's okay. This is what I read through some of these. That's what they all are, is they kind of ignore character and writing and anything like that, and they all immediately go to the visuals, which, I mean, they did spend some money on it.
B-Man did a racism.
There were some good costumes, but then there's also like the Numenorian like cloth armor that looked absolutely atrocious. Black elves like armor could have been cool with the face on it. So,
He was Puerto Rican. How dare you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Puerto
People
Rican
stealing
they're
my representation.
black,
I don't like it.
Jewish. Yes, according to AOC, you guys are Jewish as well. So all of them are the sets, the costumes, the effects are gorgeous. We'll get into the Rotten Tomatoes here soon. That's what they all are. You can tell and respect how much work it took to bring this series to life. Yeah, but that's the problem, is like respect. That's the issue. Things like look kind of nice to the eyeballs as long as you can shut your brain off enough. But then the problem is Morphin Clark starts talking or like theater acting at you, and you can't help but you can't ignore it. It's so bad. If she were cute and could act, I'd give this another 1.5. I'd give season 1 a 6 out of 10, but it's getting a 4.5 out of 10, and she's minus 1.5 of those points.
It better look better considering how much they spent for it.
One of the most expensive or the most expensive? Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think similar to the Acolyte, where you hear Jay talking about like they did it per minute. It was like $600,000 every minute or so. Some asinine number.
Me finding out how much money it costs per minute.
There's a tempest in me.
This is great advertising for the movie that comes out in December, the animated movie. This is fantastic.
I keep forgetting it's movie. Is it coming to theaters?
She thought it was Halbrand.
Yeah.
She didn't know it was Sauron. He said there was poison in him and it was the only way to get it out. And she believed him.
I finally watched the ending, and like the reveal of him being Sauron. Spoiler alert, guys. The reveal is done so poorly, and at that point, I was just like, "Turn all of Middle Earth into Mordor. I don't care anymore." There were a couple people I liked, but
can we like take a moment to internalize that this is an actual reality?
Yeah.
Picture $600,000. Picture a little over $500,000 in your mind, and now think of every minute that was given to Leslie Headland and those fuckfaces to do what they did. The power of one, 600,000. The power of two, 600,000. The power of many, and we fucking wonder why. I mean, we don't wonder. They wonder why it was canceled. Jesus.
and then they death threaded Marvel.
How many?
Gooch, any thoughts before I start going on?
It all sucks. I'm just
Well
happy
put.
it's failing. Yeah, it pleases my
Hey,
little
boy.
heart,
Yo,
my
Ben.
little Gucci heart.
Little
So
what?
this is-
Little Gucci what?
Gooch tickles. Yeah, Ben came in here for some Gooch tickles. It's
Yeah.
all a lot to remember, and the new episodes are, this is what you're going to see a lot, far more interested in the big picture plot twist and mythology than any of the characters, because the characters are so terrible. All of them are like, but the big picture is good. To ignore all the terrible characters that you hate, but the big picture stuff is really good. Plot twist.
You know,
Turns
what
out
would be
Galadriel
great
is the bad guy the whole time.
is if they don't break my heart, my Oochie Goochie heart. I had to do that.
Just
dance
don't
kid.
think it understand.
All right. ABF Prime. I could buy a transferable M249 with 30 seconds, but you could buy a lot for 600,000. Ooh, an M249.
I love that ABF's brain when he thinks of like large sums of money. He sees that in how many armaments
I
he can
could
buy. With
finally
that.
buy some Manscaped. Wink, wink.
Oh my god. He could get a phased plasma rifle and the 40-watt range.
How many alleged Stinger missiles could you get with that?
A lot. Actually, you probably get like 1 or 2.
I want to
Still
know
insane.
how excited you are for this going into.
Well, I
battle.
gotta
I will
say, the clarity of your screen that you're sharing seems extra high resolution. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like StreamYards is finally broadcasting in 1080p.
I logged,
bitches.
I logged into StreamYard on Chrome and it let me go to dark mode, and there's no way to switch it to dark mode otherwise. And I spent like 20 minutes trying to give me dark mode or I riot. All right,
wait.
Back to what we were talking about.
Really? Oh, not a shitload. So we're gonna buy a package. We got people
Allegedly.
to send gifts to.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget, this is out today. You guys could watch it now, or you could wait for the watch party at 10 p.m. Eastern-ish. Oh, yeah. Dude, how much is a shirt? Like 25K or something like that?
Yeah. The pricing in that game is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people
But
still give it
legalized
$1 billion.
cocaine. So I guess the game's got something going for it, even if the economy's a little loopy.
Even for... I'm working on it. We've had a record month and then some. So as soon as I get that next month, once YouTube says, here's your paycheck, then I will be buying some PC parts and we will do a PC building stream.
We pay for a bunch of fun shit that we don't get access to, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to fly the UFOs that we've been backward engineering and shit. Come on. Let me
If
do
you
it.
pay enough in taxes, you should be allowed to press some red buttons and shoot some things
That's all
off.
I'm
Just saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Like,
Fire a couple off the chain.
We try to give our super chatters some like bang for their buck. So let us shoot some RPGs. Come on. The Rings of Power Season 2 debuts to truly shocking review scores on Rotten Tomatoes. This is from Forbes. Eric Kane, who is on our side 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time likes the finale for The Acolyte. So it's better than Paul Tassi, I guess.
They probably feel seen. By the way, did you see the clip of the scene where like there's a really nice robot driver in Dustborn that tries to take him, and you have to be bigoted towards it and like push it away when it tries to help, and like then just like trigger. It's like you're supposed to be the good guy, but everyone's pointing out like she's so mean to that robot, just proving that they're demons that don't know how to write good or bad people.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're gonna dodge it. Graph web.
When you're rooting for the like crazy authoritarian fascist people, like you probably aren't very good at writing. Speaking of not being very good at writing, but making things look pretty, for fuck's sake.
Cancel Disney Plus.
Graph Web, you are an integral part of this team. Thank you so much.
Yes, he is.
So we do have some positives here. Actually, the score is not too terrible, and that's so weird how they just changed the audience score recently on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder why they did that. So we do have some good ones, but then
Because they're afraid to trigger people.
Emotional damage.
I forgot to pull it up. Studio Trigger, Gooch, Kill All Kill People, and then Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Did you see what their next project is?
Yes.
As long as it's not fake. Transformers? Studio Triggers Transformers. I thought I had to like triple check it because I'm like, that's too good to be true. That's got to be fake. But if that's real, Studio Trigger Transformers, the hype is for real. My hair? No.
And guess who will be covering it?
Yeah,
This
I know.
guy.
So we got Variety, Allison Herman, yet another progressive white woman like cat lady. The Rings of Power finally has the faintest hints of narrative momentum, but the second installment of the show, as gorgeous yet flat as a kitchen backsplash, what the fuck has the same
behind
problem
the stove.
Yeah,
has the same problems as the first, minus much confidence these issues will ever go away. Well, how about 3 more seasons after this one, Allison? How does that sound? Any thoughts, Badge?
Are you serious? There's another 3 seasons?
Allegedly.
No,
I mean, my
And
thought
what is
is
it supposed
that
to be? Like 5?
Bly, I think you could just do it a little bit at a time, and moderation, including moderation and everything. Oh, you mean about this shit? No, it's gonna be horrible. I don't want to watch it.
25 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not looking
God.
forward to any of this, but we're gonna have to
So
cover it.
Independent. The result is like being on a mirthless roller coaster ride, thrown around, spun
That's safe,
upside
buddy.
down, but always wondering when the fun is supposed to kick in. What? They were not allowed to say this about season 1. They would ban your review on Amazon for saying this.
By the way, like, even though I find fun in Lord of the Rings, I would never describe the trilogy as fun. Like,
no.
Yeah, there's some fun things in there for sure, but I'm not sitting there watching Lord of the Rings like, where's the fun gonna happen?
I would say it's more entertainment, and,
sweeping, epic
and storytelling,
ancient mythology, characters and fantasy, and like with fun moments, not the beard and all that shit. But
speaking of immersive, it's an immersive vacation to Middle Earth. Just like how Star Wars Outlaws, they keep talking about how it's like, oh, you're in the world of Star Wars. I mean, you don't like the characters and you're glitching all over the place, but it's like Star Wars, guys. This is like an immersive vacation in Middle Earth, but one that feels confined to a package tour agenda. Maybe we'll actually get into the place and its various people/beings next season. So yet more, there aren't characters. It's overarching plot and too much Morphin Clark, I can only assume.
Did you hear about the time that she killed an ice troll in under 30 seconds? I don't know, man. Yeah, it's not, because I know you think she's like super ugly. It's not that she's ugly, although she's not exactly a 10. It's also like anytime they speak about the projects, you're like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is just a acting gig to you, a paycheck, which is fine, but move along.
Yeah,
like
Patrick
it's not.
McKay and JD Payne start talking, and you're like,
yeah,
oh god,
it's like, oh, you're fucking dummies, and you think you know better than everything, and it's the same hubris shit.
The Gooch chair of an ice troll. Gooch, you got any thoughts before I bring up this progressive white woman adjacent Asian woman from the Hollywood Reporter?
I'm just laughing, and it's all dog shit. I mean, like, how long have we, like, why is everyone acting so surprised? We knew it was going to be dog shit, so it's just.
So here's my question then. Is anyone going to care? Like, if I make a Rings of Power Season 2 video, is it going to get watched?
My lowest views are that last fucking Lord of the Rings video. I will not make another video about no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
I think here's the thing. If someone's doing it, sorry, if someone's doing it, we're going to watch Disbrew, who's already like that's his bread and butter. Or someone like that, or Gary or Drinker.
I think it's similar to like Velma season 2, where like Velma season 1, everyone like capitalized on that, and then season 2, no one gave a fuck. So I mean, because it's the same shit. Like, if you just want to sit through it, something depressing, and hear the same verbiage, then knock your socks off. But I mean,
I'm gonna watch it just so I can talk about it on streams. But
I'm not gonna watch it because I want to save my sanity. And I don't have much left.
I was gonna say you need to keep your reserves.
Yeah, I need to. The hamsters.
You're the Battlestar Galactica. You got to make sure that your engagements are tactical and a little bit of thought.
I'm watching good shit like Terminator Zero so far. Like,
well, that's I was going to bring up they give me the Wagyu and give it to me raw. Yeah, it's going to be It's going to be the East Asians having to give it to us, and they're going to give it to us raw. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk about that in a moment, though. Variety article, getting on it, Lord Botha. Your wish is my command.
Jesus. Paragraph 10, last 2 lines. All right. We'll see what side of gross coping they do for it. Or maybe it's actually based and they point something out. The hair of a stone monkey. That's a fun drink we used to make back in the day. Just don't ask for the ingredients. Gooch with Terminator, though, you better hope that it stays consistent.
So far, it's staying consistent. I love the storyline. It's staying true to the Terminator lore from the first 2 movies, and I'm digging it so far. The female and protagonist is cool. I don't mind her.
Sim, Beta.
I found it, Lord Botha. That's a good one. Sorry.
No. She gets.
I trust you.
It's so. I'm only 3 episodes in, so I can't really say much after that, but so far I'm really enjoying it. So
Art and animation, you happy with?
there's the animation's great, but the frame rate, there's some kind of little stagger here or there with the movement, which it's not major, but like if you're at good ones here, it's good. Like you can tell there's some kind of problem with the 3D stuff in their animation there. So
We call this pulling a Dave Filoni.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Speaking
I
of
can't
things
say
we
it out
gotta
loud,
read.
that might be libel.
For Lord Botha. When I told a family member I was reviewing this season, they expressed surprise they hadn't heard of a show set in Middle Earth. We soon realized they had watched the entirety of season 1 and forgotten not only the details, but its very existence. Most expensive show ever made, guys.
Sad.
flushed right down the toilet.
Could have been so easy to do, but they didn't have faith in the audience and they didn't have faith in themselves, and they condensed a storyline that should have been, just like the movies, sweeping and epic.
And then, I don't know if you meant the very last two, but let's read the last two. If you're the kind of person who's excited to meet Tom Bombadil, the folksy, whimsical spirit excised from the Jackson movies, Rings of Power is made for you. If you're not, it isn't, and it's no longer even attempting to convince you otherwise.
There you go. We knew that.
Variety. Wow. Yeah, we're in for some fun. I think ABF's going to look like 10 years younger tomorrow if this is as bad as it's sounding.
Yeah.
And let me get back to the one last, yes, Hollywood Reporters, and then we'll move on. Yeah, and then we'll move on to some Terminator and talk about things we are excited for. Falls prey to one of the most common afflictions of its kind. It starts to feel like a story shaped backwards from events we already know will need to transpire, rather than one driven forward by the motives and choices of its characters, yet more complaints about the characters. Don't write about Amazon, though, or else they'll threaten to take away your writing review privileges.
So I say this is also how Goodwin describes his pay as a rich vein of mockery and memes.
I saw Vane. I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show something. I'm just really excited to show something.
That last one literally was the Hollywood Reporter. Now, what are they saying about Terminator Zero? Netflix's anime spinoff gives a classic franchise a promising new look. Andre Holland, Timothy Olyphant lead the voice cast of an 8-episode adventure that moves the sci-fi action past, present, and future to Tokyo, which sounds good to me. What worries you? The girl power? What is it that's
there's nothing really too like there is a female that gets well, I don't want to say anything because like no one's really watched it, but she gets sent back to 1997 and it's not what's his name from the original Terminator.
It's not Schwarzenegger's T-800 or the
T-1000.
No.
The one sent back to save Sarah Connor.
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese, yes. It's a female because this one's based in Japan. There's another story going on. I want to say like similar time frame. So like it's so far it's really good. I'm enjoying it. The action,
voice acting. How's that been?
Voice acting has been pretty good. English dub it's good. I'm curious about the. I think Goodwin was watching the subbed version because the American voice acting is. It can throw you off in certain parts, but so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm really actually enjoying this series. It's better than anything we've had. Like,
well, that's sort of not saying much, but yeah.
Well, it's saying a lot.
I mean, it's got Badger excited, and he's not really an anime fan. So
if you meant as far as Terminator shit, it is not saying much considering that we just got Darkface, Genesis, whatever the fuck, and like haven't had any. Yeah, so
this is way better. This is way better. The storyline so far, the storyline's pretty smooth. Like you learn a lot of from Doctor. Holy shit, I'm forgetting names right now. The doctor there, the guy who does a lot of the AI stuff for to cancel out a lot of the Terminators. Because he has those moments where he knows what's going to happen in the future, so he's trying to counter that. I'm so far I'm really digging the storyline. There's a lot of depth to it.
And yeah, characters as well. We're skipping past the rest of that article, but they're talking about, character stuff, which was the exact opposite of Rings of Power. Terminator Zero anime channels James Cameron's embrace of family as humanity's last hope. This is IndieWire. Is graphically violent anime reinvention contrasting the importance of family with the existential threat of AI. Sounds timely. Yeah, were you getting any we're living in this Terminator world vibes? We're living in this dystopia?
Yes, actually, watching it, you're like, holy shit, we're actually
On the cusp.
potentially pretty close. Yeah, like
That's why I like the ending of Terminator 3, because it's like there's no stopping it. It was software and cell phones, and like it was everywhere. There's no fucking mainframe to smash. That's some dumb 90s shit that Cameron thought would just be on a server. In our reality now with technology, there's no fucking mainframe to smash. Skynet is out there unless you black out the entire Earth.
It'd go to like space immediately too.
It would go,
all the satellites and shit.
There you go.
Yeah, he's trying to counter Skynet before it actually becomes like this big taking out the human race, because the human race uses every piece of technology for war. So like I'm really, really digging it so far. There's some really cool scenes.
Probably not for nothing, but this was basically the overall, whether you agree with it or not, it was the overall plot of the Mass Effect. That the reason the Reapers kept coming and wiping one out is if they didn't, we would eventually make AI that would be so advanced, it would fucking destroy all organic like everywhere. So they ironically would go and reset us before we did that.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with some of that, but eventually Skynet, we all would have lived happily ever after. But no, yeah, that was the old point, that Butlerian Jihad or Skynet, pick one.
And Games Radar guy says he binged all 8 episodes to write the review, and I'm glad I did, because this is the Terminator I fell in love with as a kid. I love how Matt Tomlinson and the team pay homage to the classics while still forging a brand new path. That thing they always tell us they're doing, but they never actually do. They just woke it up, and it sounds like they actually managed to accomplish it.
So far in the first 3 episodes, I agree. Like it's taking, for me, it's sitting nicely in a pocket between Terminator and T2, like it's right in there, and you're like, holy shit, this is
poster. The Japanese poster is cool.
Oh, I know, it's kick-ass. I want that poster.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I also realized now that I've got Aliens and Predator comic books, I might have looked in here and realized that there were some Terminator comic books as well, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I might need to research that. And if I see this and I really like it, very good chance I'm going to be getting some Terminator comic books. Because that's what, when you take an IP and you do something really good with it, it doesn't just provide success for that product. It's all the things in the IP will start selling because of it. And that's why nerd stuff used to be so big and become
rising
global.
tide. Boats.
Yeah. I picked up this big bad boy.
Oh,
today,
yes.
Yes.
Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Foil cover.
It's a classic. Anyone that knows comics, this is like, takes me right back to my childhood.
Well, Superman's a racist and he punched a black guy. It's all right.
Yeah.
Just
so
revisionist.
Yeah. And this thing's huge. Like
I like the Batman is there on in the crowd in the first row, but he wasn't his corner man.
Oh, there's tons of actors in the crowd, and there's also Jimmy Carter on the front. And I also got this. Sorry, I'm taking up, but this is like number 26 of 250. David Finch, Marvel art.
Nice.
Yes,
that's dope.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I want to fondle it. I'm gonna do things to it.
Immortal Hulk. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
My God. Yes. All right. Sorry. I need to focus back on the stream now. We got discussing film. Terminator Zero is not only the best thing the franchise has seen in years, but also one of the most stylish Netflix animes yet.
I don't know about it. It is a really cool animated take. Or anime take, but I don't know about stylish. It's definitely kick ass. Like, there's some really cool scenes in that. Like, I'm just like, damn, this is good.
All right, now we're going to have to grill you, Gooch. Why aren't you attracted to Lois Lane? Gay confirmed.
Yeah, and then afterwards we'll explain
Okay.
something to My Life Matter. Yeah,
Okay.
she looks way better in the second one.
Gay. What's wrong with you, Gooch?
I don't know. I just don't. She's got a big mouth. She's,
Oh my God.
Whoa, well, the better to do things with, my dear.
I just, I don't know. I just don't find her voice. I don't know. She's
I can't believe
okay.
you.
She's not ugly. But I just like, I was never in love with Lois Lane. That Lois Lane, anyway.
All right, can we talk about the physics of this, please?
Works out just
Oh,
fine.
wait,
I don't know
no,
what
let's
you're
get to Tomac first. Let's not talk-
Tomahawk
Oh, yeah.
Badger, are you pro or anti that Terminator leads into Alien? I have seen a few people that think it does. How the fuck does Terminator lead into Alien?
Yeah, they haven't really even finished the Terminator storyline yet either. So how does that even work?
In Wayland and
Also,
Yutani
James
timeline,
Cameron
there's no.
Maybe if it was directed
get
by
it.
the same people.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's not how that works.
I think Darth Jar Jar. That's what I'm going with instead.
No, the one I just want to say is because I don't know why it's nerd alerting me, and so even Neo from the Matrix could easily defeat Skynet. The fuck he could. Neo only had a connection to the Matrix in the real world because he was born in the fucking pod and he had a weird Wi-Fi thing going on. That would not exist with Skynet. So he probably get shot in the face. He doesn't have bullet stopping powers in the real. And there's no Matrix in Skynet.
I have a problem, and when I was going through the McFarlane side, they have Matrix figures. You do have the McFarlane Matrix figures, right?
They do, but they're not 7-inch. They're like statues and shit. I've looked.
Queen.
Yeah, I am a size queen. And posability.
All right, now enough deflecting, Tomac. We need to discuss this.
What's wrong with this?
And then he just like holds it up, and he is strong enough, yes, but no, I'm not allowing it. I'm sorry. That's my first of many. All right, let's continue.
I'm kind of with Erwin on that one. Yeah, kind of.
Gooch, would you say that Christopher Reeves is a Giga Chad, or are you going to say he's ugly too? How do you like him as Superman? And the real question is, how do you like his Superman?
He's the best Superman.
He's the best Superman.
Thoughts on seeing Superman's toddler wiener?
I approve. All baby Superman should have the biggest dick possible. That's why they're Superman. Even Russell Crowe talked about that the baby they chose had the biggest dick, and he approved because Superman,
One of the few Superman when he is. Clark actually makes me think, oh, that kind of could. I see people don't realize that Superman like a little bit because he acts so different. He looks so different.
He hunches. He acts like a fucking pussy. Yeah. I
thought it was good.
Preferred this. And Brandon Routh
Superman ever
mimicked this version. By the time they get to Henry, it's just Superman in a suit. But he tried to be a little nerdy. But when you get that big, you really have to try to hide it.
As a kid, I loved the Superman movie. It's just nothing beats it, and that's nostalgia speaking. So,
Chat, I know there's something you want to yell right now. Feel free.
Bro, Henry Cavill proved it worked. He stood in fucking Times Square wearing a Superman shirt, and people didn't even look at him. So, most people are in their own little world.
Can we talk about the aluminum foil costumes for the Kryptonians?
I don't know what you're talking about. It was just really comfy, glowing material.
This looks good, but yeah, I was like getting blinded by it. My buddy's got like HDR or whatever. I could barely see afterwards. It was pretty adorable, though. I would say overall, I really enjoyed the movie, but I probably got to put it a little lower than I want. I think I got to go like 6.5 territory. As much as I did enjoy it, 7 maybe. I have Alien. I have Alien at 7 and Gladiator at 7.5. So are you saying that I should consider this better than Alien and Gladiator?
As good, if not better, yes.
That to this day, it's still the best Superman movie.
If you ask me to remove Alien or Superman from the world, Alien would be gone from the timeline so fucking quick it would make your head spin.
Yeah, you would just go and spin the Earth around in some circles and then not go far enough back to actually stop California from being put into the ocean.
100%. Well, he can't do.
Yeah.
No, I hate the timeline. We're just talking to Gooch about the
Yeah.
second. Was like,
Yeah.
where's the TVA to stop him? I know.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that, but just for what it was and the time, and it's still like, oh, that's Superman. That's
Right.
Superman.
Last thing, Lex Luthor, that portrayal of Lex Luthor, and also Lex Luthor having two idiots working for him. I don't see that happening.
That is old school Lex Luthor. You got to remember, this is Bronze
Oh my
Age
god, that's so good.
Reeve. No, it's Christopher Reeve. George Reeves, Christopher Reeve. And yes, I still think he's the best. And it's just like Kevin Conroy will always be the best Batman. Christopher Reeve will always be the Superman. And I will always judge everyone's performance based on those two things.
Yep.
How close did they get to that?
100% agree.
He eats
why we're
something in every scene. I love that part. But why would Lex Luthor put up with his buffoonery? Oh yeah, here we go. This is better.
That makes you feel strong, smarter.
If you read Superman from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, you would
I get some
see
sunglasses for this one.
Yeah, wow. You would see that, like the silliness in the comics. Like Superman, like they did almost a decade of like Wonder Woman being a secretary and a model and all this stuff. You had Superman getting married to Lois Lane and doing slice of life stuff. So I don't know. This kind of
I liked it. I certainly had not seen a Lex Luthor like that, and it was definitely interesting to say.
It's Gene Hackman. I don't care. Gene Hackman. You put Gene Hackman in anything, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
got the best line too.
Worked for me. He's in. What did I see him in? The Will Smith one? Yeah, Enemy of the State. Yeah, he was like the anti-government guy in Enemy of the State. I think it's the most recent thing I saw Gene Hackman in. Tomac, this one's for you. Evil West. I talked about it on every single stream. I really enjoyed it. I beat it. The Lolly Vampire killed her at the end. But I had looked and I was like, oh, this studio's not woke. And then we found all the wokeness. But I had realized, wait, I think that was actually the producers, not the actual studio. So I looked in the actual studio, and here they are. They're Polish. Look how much diversity they're all white Polish people. Okay, it's what Flying Wild Hog Studio. We are hogs. We foster creative thinking and challenge status quo. And it's actually about how they're like edgy. Yeah, our core values. This is normally where you find all the DEI crap. Fast-paced action. Okay, irreverent and edgy. Under our core values, this is what game developers and publishers, all of them, this is what their core values should be. Like when you open up a Ripperverse, you love him or hate him, but he's got like his code of ethics and it's all based and good. This is what it should be. And I'm like, oh no, there's no way they're going to have this and DEI it up. And I looked and I didn't see it. So I went to careers and it's like who we are. And none of it says diversity or anything. None of this says diversity or any of that. Vibes. They push the limits. Like it talks about like working hard, but also, if you need a little more loosey-goosey vibe to be able to work, you need a little remote. We got that. And then here's our studio. Cool. Meet our recruiters. And look at Pauline and Agnieszka.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. And then that's it. And so, like,
who were all those pretty ladies you were looking at? No, I'm just kidding.
But then we go to the publisher, Focus Entertainment, and then this one's tough. So you go to a company and then About Us. That's where you find most of the woke shit. You want to know if a game is woke? This is how you do it. So go to there, but then it didn't pop up anything. So I thought we were good. But then I noticed there's some other things to click on. Responsibility, I assumed that would be it. Responsibility is all their like environmental ESG crap. But if you click on values, you get the values of Focus. This is their values. A federation of talents. We've built a strong and integrated group. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, sounds decent. All right, a passion for gaming, a passion for creating. Okay, that's cool. All right, sounds good. A commitment to quality. Okay, cool. They're not woke. This is the part where I was telling everyone they're not woke. And then we got dedicated to offering equal opportunities. We are convinced that strength comes from diversity. Oh my God. Corporate social responsibility and sustainable development. And this is where I got really mad on stream. So So you get the base developers, but then they got the publishers that got their ESG stuff. Good game. Play it. It's on Game Pass and on PlayStation Plus. I was trying to get my buddy to play it because it's his exact kind of game, and he actually already had it in his library. I saw, when I was looking for this, I saw one review, and it was like, graphics are great for 2022, but the gameplay is still stuck in the 90s. And I'm like, that sounds great. That's why I liked it. Gameplay's fun. You like all those like God of War 1 through 3s and all that, to beat them up, hack and slashes. Good stuff. All right. Enough of that. All right. You guys got any thoughts?
Jakku. Have you apologized for your internalized racism and
whip it out.
homophobia yet?
Whip it out.
Sorry. You have to do these at
Good
early
timing.
ages. I hear the earlier you do this is the better.
Do you realize that you're a white person and you're responsible for all of black people's problems? Because at one point, your ancestors owned slaves. Yes, they did. I don't care what they tell you. Even if you're not related to them, you being white is oppressive to a whole group of people. You are an oppressor. Do you understand that? The earlier you understand that you're an oppressor to not only black people, but also Hispanic people that are here illegally. Yes, you are. You are oppressing illegals. Do you realize that you're a white person?
Yeah. Got to get them
Mockery.
early enough.
Satire, mockery. This is how you win. You point and laugh at these idiots.
I would love for them to be like, well, no, that's just a baby. And you go, okay. So what point does that become just a baby to an evil fucking white person who has to apologize for the sins that were done before they were born? Humans have done some real fun things. We're going to make sure we all pay for all the things that were done before we came into reality.
When that child grows up, I'm wondering if it's going to be Democrat.
Probably going to be based. I think that's Alex Stein's kid.
No,
and we can go back and say, you did this to the child.
Just diversity is our strength. Yeah.
This is why we need games like this. Once I share the screen again, following reports of Dustborn receiving funding from the EU, the US government spent over $250,000 on a counter disinformation game.
We covered this on stream, if you remember, because this was a while ago. But back when all that fun about consultancy, we found out that a certain Ukrainian might also have had government funding for video games specifically to target all the things that they do: propaganda, sensationalism, headlines, and getting them to look through. Clearly, they've done this more than once. Well, the fun thing is that this was originally funded by us to stop Russian propaganda in Ukraine, and it's clearly being used in other places to
it's like before Obama left, they passed a bunch of stuff for like countering like extremism and all of it, and that immediately just went into going after like all Trump and Trump supporters and stuff like that, and this sort of crap.
Do you think if they played it, they'd realize that it's being done to them all the time by the news and CNN and things like that, which is why most people laugh, like on Colbert, when you say that they're agenda free and just tell it as it is.
Look where your tax dollars are going.
Again, what Denzel Washington said to the news media is, if you ignore the news, you're uninformed. And if you fucking pay attention to the news, you're misinformed. So you got to do your due diligence.
And France just arrested the CEO of Telegram for letting misinformation on his platform. So
even though they are, it's a service, they're not publishers. Right. It gets into a whole debate.
Back in the day, we had America's Army, AA, that game. I think it was free to play. That was definitely made by the military industrial complex to get kids to join the military. And it worked. And now we are acquiring nukes instead.
Right. And so that's what the thing is, right? Like, they're not a publisher. They're a platform. So it's more like a town hall, similar to what Elon is saying X is and what Facebook was at the time. They don't pick and choose what gets on. Thus, they can't be held accountable for what other people do. They're simply a platform. And that's where it's getting iffy.
Yeah, and it's what Section 38 or whatever nonsense, where they get special like legal immunity from it because they say they're a platform, but then they act like publishers.
Yeah.
And if Elon Musk goes to Europe, they are going to try to arrest him.
And are they not? They're shutting off it in Brazil or Venezuela was one of those countries, right? Like one of those
Brazil.
spots. Because Brazil, okay, yeah. Jesus, not good,
Yeah.
not good, very not good.
Yeah, the Trump-like Brazilian president lost to a socialist conveniently, just like Trump did somehow. Who knows? And then he was also persecuted, and then there were also protests in a Jan 6 in Brazil and whatnot. And now they're not going to have Twitter.
Yeah, which is wow, what a platform it really is these days of
Skynet's coming.
Information.
But we can actually have an impact. Hardware giant Lowe's pledges to end diversity policies to avoid public backlash. Who do you think this was? Once I get to it, Robbie Starbuck gets yet another. Big news. I messaged Lowe's executives last week to let them know that I plan to expose their woke policies. This morning, I woke up to an email where they preemptively made big changes. Ending participation in the HRC's Woke Corporate Equality Index, that's the human right campaign. You see the little bumper stickers with like blue background and yellow equal signs. That's the HRC. They want to chop your kids' balls off and then raise money off of what your kids do after they chop their balls off. And blah, 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 a bunch of other stuff, just like you got John Deere, Tractor Supply, blah, blah, blah. Then the next day, Ford joins growing push to scale back woke DEI initiatives under pressure from conservatives. From conservatives, you say. Who is that? Oh, yes, Robbie Starbuck. Big news. We were in the middle of investigating woke policies, but this morning Ford confirmed to me that they're making changes. Here are the changes. Ending participating in the Corporate Equality Index is social credit score for corporations. It's literally the gay mafia, like strong arming score.
Yeah, they're not ending anything. They're rebranding.
What's today's secret word?
Which we will be getting to here in just a moment. But first, you'll never believe this. Amazon bans Robbie Starbuck's documentary, The War on Children. Whoever would have imagined that would happen?
And real quick to that point, we're not fucking winning. We're seeing victories. Not the same thing. Take the victories, but don't consider that we're winning. If anything, it's going to get way worse and way harder. Giggity.
We're still on the downward trajectory.
Yes, we are. Fuck, dude. Years of this shit. We're just barely seeing some victories that we could call significant and noteworthy. It's just the beginning. They're gonna, once they realize they've got cut and they're bleeding, what happens to a wounded animal? Okay, that's where we are.
Any thoughts before I continue?
I love how Patrick gets so animated there.
Can't help it.
Yeah, he's the angry badger. I can't be the only one going like this.
Yeah.
All right, so Starbuck posted our documentary, The War on Children, the most watched documentary of the year with more than 50 million views, but Amazon just banned it from Prime Video due to offensive content. Well, it wasn't offensive enough for 50 million people to choose to not watch it. Is Jeff Bezos afraid of people hearing our very mainstream viewpoint shared by half the country, or have radicals hijacked the company? Well, if you go to their website, you can find their ESG stuff also quite easily. Our film features doctors, U.S. Senator Rand Paul, coverage of mainstream peer-reviewed studies, victims of trafficking and exploitation, and we can't have this, people like Riley Gaines and libs of TikTok. It's a cinematic representation.
Hate her.
It's a this is just normal people stepping up. We all could be doing this, and it's a numbers game. The more of us step up, the more of us can become Robbie Starbucks and libs of TikToks and Riley Gaines.
Of TikTok is the best example because all she's doing is showing what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's a cinematic representation of the way more than half the country sees the issues facing our kids today. It's as mainstream as it gets. Banned for offensive content.
Yeah.
Where can we watch this?
Well, I don't know. Amazon just banned it. They're probably on their website, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's real creepy how they're going after the sound of freedoms and things like this, and then say, "Oh, it's alt-right. Only alt-rights like this shit." And it's like, what, bro?
Yeah, and then when you look at things Amazon sells, such as literally sold sex dolls made to look like lollies, but they've banned our film to expose the war on children. I want you all to think about that. Bezos should fix this, and Amazon should apologize.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know. I was hoping they'd say where to get it, but we don't know. And then these successes is why people like Forbes are now saying, is it time to rename diversity, equity, and inclusion? Just like Larry Fink of BlackRock is like, well, we got to stop calling it ESG. They done exposed our scam. We need a new name for it. They also need a name for DEI because they're the same damn thing. You got the DEI, above that's the ESG, and then above that is the United Nations SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. If you go to ESG reports on like Disney's website and stuff like that, they will literally have a page about the UN's SDGs and explains them, and they've got little color-coded icons for what they're trying to, problem they're trying to solve. And then in each of the sections, it'll have which ones of those it's part of. And it's Skynet's here.
Yeah.
And we're winning like battles, but we are not winning the war yet. We are still on that downward trajectory, which is why we can't let them go all bridge on us and all ninja and just kind of fade away and then change their names and come back Bruce Jenner style.
It's one of these though. It's never been tried. It's like, yeah, it has. Multiple times, multiple countries.
All right, so what is DEI? So we're talking about Ice-T and SVU.
Got news for you.
So some woman, I don't know her name. All right, asked him, did they write SVU back to normal yet? It started to go woke. Well, Ice-T says, what the F is woke? Lol, like I give a fuck. So it's the classic, oh, like I did my documentary, The Nerd War on Woke. Like, what is woke? Woke actually is like black people did this back in like the 60s and blah, 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 blah. And, so, blah, blah, blah. And they play the definition game with you. So he's doing the definition game and the playing dumb game at the same freaking time.
Yeah.
It's Bill Maher saying he doesn't know who Klaus Schwab is. Like, what?
Yeah. And then he downplays it at the end. Lol, like I care. So, playing dumb, but if you actually look at SVU, it's gone woke as hell. And then if you go down to comment, someone right here posted like 5 more things that happen. So yeah, they just play dumb, like, woke, what is that even? I don't know, but this person won't press charges against the person who raped her because, well, there's systemic inequality in the justice system. But it's not woke.
We
Do
ended
people
up
actually watch that? Like, I don't know anyone that watches that. So
how many seasons it's gotten? It's so many
old people.
We ended up in retarded land, ironically, when we stopped calling people retarded. You see, long ago, before 2013, people used to say dumb shit. And when they would say dumb shit, people in the room would say, hey, you fucking retard. That is really stupid. Shut the fuck up. And it would end there. And somewhere after 2013, someone said, hey, you know what? I think I'm now the opposite sex, and this and all the dumb shit came out of their mouth, and no one in the room said, hey, that's fucking retarded. Shut up. And that got us to where we are now.
You got the trick to getting rid of the woke mind virus is slapping him in the back of the head.
And I'll use an example of that. George Lucas and Spielberg used to say, shut the fuck up to Kathleen Kennedy with her ideas. That's retarded. And then 2013 happened, and what came out of the birthing canal? Kathleen Kennedy, and look what we got.
There was a writer's room for The Acolyte in which Leslie Headland said, I want to make a person born from the Force before Anakin using a virgins with a bunch of lesbian communist witches chanting, and no one said, hey, Leslie, that's fucking retarded. Shut the fuck up. $600,000 a minute later.
That's what we have chat here for. They keep us in line by making fun of us and calling us gay and retarded.
Yes.
And all right, so back to this. Blah blah blah. Let's see. I think he was some racism. Okay, so Variety celebrated, Parade Magazine, Yahoo News. We're all super happy about it. Blah blah blah. She said, it got to a point where it was ridiculous. I watched SVU from the beginning. It changed. 26 freaking season is what's about to start here in October, which I assume is why she was saying this stuff. Someone who's watched for 25 years and they're like, it's changed. This is different. And then you're just like, why do I care what you have to say for the show you've watched for 25 years, apparently love. Instead, this is how I'm going to treat you. And then the media is going to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm. Basically how they treated most franchise fans of the franchises they were loving. Oh yeah, fuck you. You'll come along for the ride anyway. And the great thing here is, not to set, the writers. How do they? It's the same way these actors do. It's a sophisticated form of reparations. You see, if it weren't for systemic of all the racisms and all that, they'd be much more successful, much more popular, and it's all of society's fault. And so they just see this as their earned comeuppance. It's about time you recognize their greatness. See how fun that is?
I'm tired of you BIPOCs always complaining.
That's
I'm
literally
to you,
what
Gooch.
that is what the justification
Gooch
is. That's how
identifies
they
as a
have-
BIPOC.
Oh yeah, I have no problem doing it.
No, I don't.
You say you're indigenous. You know what the
Yeah,
I and
but
bi
I've
is?
never used it on anything. I like. It's actually
All right. Well, we
just
need to
in the
talk
last
about
6
some
months I've mentioned it.
actual
maybe longer.
indigenous people, unlike Gooch. Some actual indigenous people here.
Whoa.
The warriors come out and play.
Look, the black dude's wearing like moccasins and shit. I think that's cultural appropriation. Actually.
And the leader's called the chief. So I didn't realize the warriors meant like indigenous warriors, Gooch. Sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. Girl on the right, immediately they're like, you are trouble. And they call her a whore. And she's like, I'm not a whore. Spoiler alert, she's a giant whore.
Yeah.
And she wants to make it up in the world. And she's immediately trouble. She basically helps get a dude thrown in front of a subway train. Women, am I right? Girl,
God, you dig it.
I wish he would have survived. That dude was great. And then they kill him off. And it's just like, wow, no more. Why? No more. But yeah,
I'm indigenous to Earth. I was born here.
Well, you know, we got like the indigenous UK, like blind and whatnot. Currently, we're replacing them. So colonization's good when it goes the other way. Let's see. Warriors come out and play. The style, the darkness, the grim, the grittiness. I loved it. Yeah, what are you looking
check
at,
out the
Scooby?
movie The Warriors. What's it, like late 70s, early 80s?
It's no, it's 70s. It was
70s.
This is what we had in the 70s. Where
I meant shot,
like,
not setting, but it
It
was
says
shot and
79.
set.
New York was
79.
on the brink of bankruptcy. It was Times Square, like it was just porn shops galore, pimps, hookers.
Gooch and I played it. Gooch and I
drug
played
dealers. Oh yeah. I
the
loved
game. Oh,
the
Scooby,
game.
you're in for a treat, baby. Yeah, check this out.
Oh, this is
really
sure.
liked it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like this more than Superman, I would say. So I'd probably give it like a 7.5.
The Warriors game by Rockstar. Isn't it Rockstar?
Yeah.
Back in the day. It's one of the best fighting games ever.
Yes. Yes.
With the throwing in the ground and top mount,
Yeah.
and you could pick them
Yeah.
up and throw them into things. It's like, man,
great.
that game you can fight like you could fight in the real world. Like the overall tactics and like tackling is really
BIPOC.
good. It's really good.
This movie taught me entrapment.
Wood?
Like when I was a kid.
Speaking
like
of entrapment,
Sure. No.
No.
my answer is
Who
wood.
knows what
I
you're
meant
gonna
wood
get.
with cocaine.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and
70s
these
cocaine.
These poor guys who don't even get
Yeah.
invited to the giant gang meetup. And he tries to be cool, but then she comes in and ruins everything. And then she gets a dude thrown in front of a subway train.
Yeah, people forget that Giuliani did come. That's what stop and frisk actually was good for, even if it's probably a violation of people's civil rights. There's a lot of fuckers
yeah.
with guns, and
Hey.
drugs everywhere. And
When violating
Oh,
the Fourth
and Joe
Amendment
Biden.
actually works, I support it.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, what are you saying, Gooch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Biden. Stop and search.
Yeah, well, Kamala too. She's a big fan.
Yeah.
All right, and just I loved all the different gangs, all the just like graffiti everywhere, all just.
And you know
random
who that guy is,
steam.
right? Obviously, the Warriors guy from
Commando or whatever.
Commando, yeah, a couple of.
See, I was in Toronto, and it was
Sully.
like, there was like getting the trains and going to the subway systems. There was a lot of that in Toronto as well. So like, yeah, like as a kid, like it was just like I don't know. It was an awesome time.
This is where I would like a Batman movie. I want my Gotham to look like that in that time period. You know, no fancy shit.
The beginning with all the different gangs like converging. Oh, that was amazing.
The
And then one of
music is just
one of like the IMDb trivias was they were trying to get this movie out before some other similar movie came out. So they had 3 teams of editors do it. And despite having to rush it and separate all the teams, the editing was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
What happened to Sully? I let him go.
Yeah. And the DJ, I think I mentioned this before.
Carmen Sandiego.
She was on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? She's the host.
Where in the world?
Is
Carmen Sandiego.
I love
Yeah.
Once I figure out who actually did it, she's like, "Oh, hey, the Warriors are bad. Here's a song for you, though."
And I think she's a judge actually in SVU, or I think she's a judge in that series too. Now I think of it.
There was sexual harassment, some good, some bad. The ones who
Bro.
went too far got
Do you know
their
who this
comeuppance.
is? James Remar.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god! So first he was gonna be the original Hicks from Aliens, before being replaced by Michael Biehn. But he's been in a bunch. He's the bad guy in
Shout out to Gatekeeper.
The Phantom. He's been in a bunch of good shit. James Remar. Yeah, look at that chin.
That chin, dude.
Timescape. He was in Timescape.
If they need to do a time skip for Aemon in House of the Dragon, I vote this guy.
Bro, you forget that Aemon is like 15 or something in that series. Like 60, he's young, super young.
I'd follow him to war.
It was him. He did it. I
Mhm.
saw him do it. I saw him. He had the gun.
Yeah, and he attacks them and stuff. Yeah.
I've seen
Even
the
like
Warriors like a million times.
Even the
I love
awkwardness
that
was
movie.
good. And I felt
This.
pretty represented during this scene.
Yeah.
Chow main's better than lo mein. There, I said it, Bobby. Hope that doesn't upset you. We're talking about the
It's
Warriors.
Too dry.
Yeah.
All right.
Scooby Pup's never seen it. Erwin just watched it.
I
Baseball
definitely
Furies.
recommend.
Oh, dig it.
I'm giving it 7.5.
Can you dig it?
Bro, we got to try and find
All
that
right.
game, but
You
I
are
think
a
it's
BIPOC.
Xbox
I know.
only or like original console only.
Yeah. I think it is Xbox only.
If they released, they would edit the shit. You literally take drugs to heal yourself. They would edit the shit out of that. Yeah, but it would be so good to get.
I'm checking right
common.
now.
Yeah,
If I can.
so good. I'm telling you.
All right. I'm working on starting out this poll for movie. So chat, start thinking of a movie I need to watch. Gooch and Badge, you're gonna need
It's
to
on the
give me one.
PS5. Meow.
Let's see, we got some Ace Ventura. Oh yeah, I added some. Where did they go? Oh, I thought I put. Yeah, I got some comedies up here. Yeah, I'm gonna add a comedy. So we got Ace Ventura, Groundhog Day.
Oh, Ace Ventura.
Okay, Ace Ventura.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Like Groundhog Day is one of my favorite movies, but Ace Ventura is so
Oh,
seminal.
you haven't seen Tropic Thunder?
I have. That's one that I just haven't seen in a while, and it's so freaking good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super
I've watched-
Troopers?
I have seen.
Okay.
He
But
needs to see.
I'll put it on if that's yours.
Ace Ventura.
I haven't seen it in a while.
For the
so.
end scenes that are very, very relevant.
Well, see, my
days.
thought was I watched like Blazing
Finkel,
Saddles
Einhorn, Finkel.
and some of these things are comedies that I was a little disappointed with. So I was like, I gotta watch another one of these comedies again. Did I lose it? Am I the problem? Playing
Sonia,
Strings of
I love
Automobiles?
you.
Grandma's Boy is my choice.
I was going to qualify that, but I'll just keep it there. Sonia, I love you. If you fucking watch this movie and you share Leon's opinion, well, then that's just something different, isn't it? Had Remar not done drugs, he still would have played Hicks in Aliens, and he wasn't entirely cut out of Aliens either. Part of him are still in there. I'm assuming you mean like in the background, maybe you see him like on the camera stuff. I don't know. I love Michael Biehn as like that. To me, is a perfect, much like Theo, whatever his name is from The Gentleman. Like that's how you do a strong male character who like can take criticism with sense of humor. It's not threatened by women characters, but still has like high tea. I don't know. It's just a perfect, like, I guess you could call him stoic, even though he does talk. Hicks, you know, Aliens.
Dang it. I'm gonna change mine to Run Ronnie Run.
What are you laughing at?
You guys seen Run Ronnie Run? With David Cross? Bob Odenkirk?
No, but I do like David Cross.
Oh, this one? Wait, unrated? Yeah, that's probably why most people haven't seen it then. Yeah, what the heck? Really freaking good. I'm definitely gonna force you guys to watch it.
Yeah,
there's
we gotta
like-
get. We can do the jokes.
Ace Ventura is in a strong lead.
It's
I think that's
people
ABF
might say
wanted.
it's his best comedy ever. Like I don't think that would be a hot take for up there of like all time Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah,
Ace Ventura has to be there.
Ace Ventura for sure.
Yeah, it's got 61%. What about Bob's at 22%? I threw that one in for Graph Web.
That's what I said, Bobby.
Whoa.
Fucking un-American shit.
Excuse me.
See, that's one of those
I could
ones
bother you
that
for a breath mint.
I probably have seen it a couple times as a kid. I just don't remember it. The Mask. I definitely watched The Mask and remember The Mask because it's kind of hard to forget that. Also, that the wolf whistle on that is excellent. That's what I'm gonna get because none of us apparently can wolf whistle because we're not misogynist enough.
Well, what's the fucking incorrect for? Like, don't watch the edited. Of course. Is there
What
an
the
edited
correct
one?
version?
What's the
Yeah.
fucking correct version now? I'm thinking.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tony.
Tony
I
Lo.
forgot
Tony
Tony.
Lo.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
he's
yeah.
fucking funny.
And
Dude, there's a bunch. That is a movie
It's a
you
bloodbath.
could not make. You know how they say like there's
Ace
movies you
Ventura
can't
wins.
make, and it really just means there's movies that they wouldn't make. Okay, you could not make that today. No one would fund it for reasons.
Yeah.
And yes,
All
Groundhog
right.
Day is goated. That'll probably be my next choice for him after he sees Ace.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter what else we put up. Ace Ventura was going to win this one. It looks
That's what I'm
like.
saying. And honestly, and the second one might be just as good, if not better. So that's also one of those debates that you hear fans talking about.
So
Woo!
Einhorn.
Nobody go in there.
So we got Watership Down next, which is the Sad Rabbit movie. That one was thanks to Tomac. Big Trouble in Little China. Good chance I actually watch that one tonight with my buddy. And then OG Judge Dredd, Tango and Cash right after Judge Dredd. And then I threw a couple animes I just wanted to watch. Memories, which is made by the Akira director. It's like 3 shorter animes. Saw it was on Prime and I've been wanting to watch it, so I'm like, I don't care. And then Your Name, which is a really highly rated anime on IMDb. Looks good. Been wanting to watch it, so I just threw it on there. And then Ace Ventura.
Had I been
And-
drinking from the toilet, I might have been killed.
Let's see. And we
Courtney
got
Cox, by the way, also.
reviews
Yeah.
coming up. We got Under the Red Hood, Outlander for B-Man, so make sure you're here tomorrow, B-Man. and
Long
then
legs. You need to
Appleseed.
see long legs.
I will add it to the list, but chat decides what I watch.
Well, you got to see it probably in theater or stream it somewhere because that one snuck up on me. That one's a really good movie.
Yeah, you need it when you tell people you need to call it Nicolas Cage's Long Legs.
Yes.
And then
Micah Monroe, she hot?
There's a lot in
Oh,
the
she
second
is
one,
cute.
Bly. There's a lot in the second one. It's the Monopoly guy. How dare you, Fat Laba?
No.
How dare you have an
what?
opinion?
No way.
Well,
No.
Everyone disagrees.
yeah.
Sorry, Fat Laba. You must be changed.
Yeah.
So-
That's one of his better roles, man. Like
I want to see Long Legs now for some reason.
Guana.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee. I'm just gonna fucking start doing.
yeah.
He has
Right.
seen it, Bill. He's seen it.
Yeah, that was actually because beforehand I was like, I know I need to watch stuff before my nerds start judging me. So I was trying to watch all the sci-fi dystopia stuff, and that was one of the first ones I watched. God dang, it's so good. Brazil. I added Brazil back to the list because not only do I need to watch it again, y'all need to watch it if you haven't seen Brazil. It might be my favorite sci-fi dystopia. Yeah, Robert De Niro in it as well. Robert De Niro. Well, no, Terry Gilliam's in Robert De Niro's Brazil. Man, I keep looking at. No, I don't care about you. Go back to the chick. Oh my gosh, I like her attire. She's got really good fashion sense.
Shabuba.
She in the movie, she kind of gives off like a Holly Hunter vibe.
Oh, I thought she was Emmy Rossum, but in the trailer. But
Yeah, she gives off a Holly Hunter vibe in the movie.
Open
Just
bar
like her
still not
voice.
started yet?
Oh, Scoobs,
So-
if you mean the trailer, we all
So
fucking loved it. Including
Mhm.
we were a bit naysayery to begin with, and like after like 10 seconds, it's like, oh, this looks great. I guess I'm watching the other Sonic movie to prepare for this.
Yeah.
It just
Tomac,
started. All right.
Tomac's a Sonic fan, and yeah, he said he's excited. There's no movies coming out this week, but the Reagan movie, so it's got zero competition, and then this like Christian movie Forge almost beat Blink twice, which is that Zoe Kravitz movie. So Reagan might actually do kind of well this week. And then we got Beetlejuice, which I'll be seeing Wednesday. Badger, say some words. We got any streams coming late tonight?
Yeah, actually, if you are there for it, I will this guy top 5 animated things tonight, right at 7 or 7 like this. So 10. You do the math, whatever.
Yeah.
10 o'clock Eastern, God's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chat smart. You guys will figure it out.
There
Gooch,
you
say
go.
some words for us.
Yeah, swing on by Diabolical Souls Presents. We're going to be doing the top 5 animated shows or TV series, whatever tickles your fancy. We're having people. If you follow me on Twitter, and you should, at Devilish Doyle, you could send me your favorite shows or TV animated series, and we'll get to them. We'll go over a lot of them, and we'll get the opinions from the panel and the chat. So it's going to be a fun time tonight. And then next Thursday, we're doing Terminator. So I'm looking forward to that.
Zero?
But then
Terminator Zero? Right?
Terminator Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But Sunday is the night. Sunday is the big night. So that's the night of all nights. That's where Late Night with Gooch. So
Yep.
it's a thing now. So
God may
it's
have
out there.
rested on Sunday, but the gooch goes
Lives on.
wild.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your support. Oh my God, this month has been insane. And Scooby Pup, we're so freaking glad to have you back for reals.
Yeah.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Good, then get the hell out of my life. Who needs you? Beat it. Leave me alone.
I needed to get rid of the human garbage, otherwise known as my best friends.
Oh!
Come on!
Oh!
Bonnie, how do you keep getting back in?
Well, bye.
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean that either.
So now that I beat Evil West, I'm playing Terminator Resistance.